journalist. This is Christian Ballard here at the
Let's go. Get on base.
And we say happy Memorial Day, everybody. Christian Ballard, sports journalist at Ballard Sports Media, coming at you with episode 6 of the Christian Ballard Show. I got to fix this layout thing here. Hold on one second. I guess this will work. I don't like it covering up the Ballard Sports Media tag on top. But if you're listening on Spotify, thank you. If you're watching on YouTube, we got a couple viewers already. If you're watching this back, I appreciate it. I know we probably won't get too much of a crowd. It is Memorial Day weekend. It's finally Memorial Day. We'll kind of hang out and talk up sports, college football mostly, and yeah, we'll just kind of dive into it. But I do want to talk about a team in particular, and I'll put this up and we'll kind of talk about it, and we'll clip it, and then we'll put it up. Uh, but yeah, I'm excited for this show today. Not a whole lot to talk about, but I will say that there is a elephant in the room or a tiger in the room. We talk about head coaches in college football. You probably think of some that are former, some that are current. You probably think Nick Saban, Joe Paterno, guys like that. But what if we got to talking about the best coaches in the sport today, and we talk about current coaches? You probably think, oh, at the top is Kirby Smart. I agree. I fully agree. I would take that to the grave that at least at this moment he is the best coach. He is the best coach. But what if something were to happen this year with Clemson? When we look at Clemson, they aim for Dabo's third title here in 2025. They're looking for it. They're on a mission. They've been on a mission. It seems as if that not that the window is closing, although the media would like you to believe that. I think it's one of those things where for the Clemson Tigers, like Dabo is more about just creating a culture than he is about what he's doing for himself. And I think that makes a really great head coach. Now, he's nowhere near a hot seat. He's nowhere on some list of candidates to get fired. He's nowhere, nothing like that. Nothing he could do. He could have a Florida State type of year this year. They're not going to fire him. I refuse to believe that. I mean, he's at Clemson until they put him in the ground or till he decides otherwise, right? I mean, it seems that way. But I know as college football fans and as media, we definitely look at Clemson and we say, yeah, but what about those national championships? Number one, I would, in ways, make an argument about him possibly being, and I say possibly, and I use that term lightly because it's not a guarantee. I think current head coaches, it's Kirby Smart and Dabo, kind of 1A, 1B. I know that Kirby is what 2-0 against Dabo, which actually I do think head to head record means a lot. I will admit that. But I think, when you look at 2 national championships for both coaches, and then you look at what Dabo has done to win those championships and both times beating Alabama, one of them by 28 points, in a championship game, the worst loss for Nick Saban. I have the hardest time Not necessarily putting Kirby ahead of Dabo, but it's very hard for me to say that Dabo's not the best current head coach. It's just kind of hard to imagine that being true, and it's hard to um I don't know, man. It's hard to come to grasp of that. When you look at this year's team too, obviously Cade Klubnik's the go-to starting quarterback. He's the head man. Uh, you got Phil Maffa is gone to the NFL now. Again, I forget where he's at necessarily, but they have a guy coming up in Jay Haynes. I hear that he is making a lot of great progress this off season. There's a lot to love on defense with Peter Woods and company. Um, I think that the depth and the talent is there at Clemson. I really do. I think that uh, this could be one of their better rosters since they won a national title. And I know what you're thinking. Well, they lost some guys and they bring guys back and they whatever. They did make the playoffs. They did make the playoffs. And I think that's fair to talk about. I really do. I just think that, with everything they got coming back, um, I don't know, man. It's hard for me to put it's number one, I will say it's hard to put Clemson at the very top of college football this year as a favorite, like the go-to favorite, but it's also very hard for me to be down on them. I think we could get to agreement on there. I really do. You also got to take a look at their schedule and everything. And, I've already previewed it, but I could still pull it up and we could talk about this. But I really think that week in and week out, if you just play your best, you can win a football game every single week. Now, are they going to go 15-0 or 16-0 or whatever they have to go for the playoffs? No, probably not. It's not going to be as special as 2018. That 2018 team going as the first modern era 15-0 team was very special for Clemson. And, I doubt that they'll be undefeated because it's very hard to do that. It's going to be hard to be champions and be undefeated. I mean, Ohio State won it this year in the first 12-team playoff, but they weren't necessarily like, undefeated, undoubted. They did lose to Michigan. They lost to Oregon that first time around. Here's Clemson's schedule, by the way. I don't see them going undefeated with this. I don't know where their loss would be, but like, okay, they host in a home and home with LSU. They got Troy. Don't sleep on the Trojans. I mean, they've given LSU fits and other big teams out there before. It's not a nobody. Georgia Tech on the road. Georgia Tech's on the up and up. Syracuse. Syracuse always gives Clemson trouble. At North Carolina, say whatever you want to about Bill Belichick and his girlfriend and all that, but you just, I mean, maybe he's going to silence the doubters. I don't think so. But again, back to back road games here, October 4th and October 11th. You're looking at going to Boston College, too, who I thought was a pretty decent team last year. SMU, playoff team. Duke, no. Florida State, mystery team. How bad or how good are they going to be? Is 2-10 a fluke last year? I don't know. At Louisville, that could be a challenge. Furman, no. At South Carolina, people expect South Carolina to possibly be on the radar for the college football playoff yet again with Lenora Sellers at the helm of quarterback. So this is a manageable and doable schedule. If I had to give losses right now, and I think I gave them these losses in the uh, I mean, they could easily go 11-1, I think. If they go 10-2, you're dropping maybe that Georgia Tech and South Carolina game. At this moment in time, forget what I previewed earlier in the spring. I home against LSU, it could go either way. Home field advantage for Clemson. I mean, you're talking about a very interesting schedule here, and ultimately, like I just I don't know, man. Clemson is definitely a a team to watch this year. I view them kind of as a not a playoff sleeper, but a national title sleeper. I think there's a big difference there. Like, oh, they're going to make the playoffs, but how far are they going to go? Can they win a title? Do they need a title just to get back to what I'm talking about? Do they need a title? Now, Dabo, again, not on any hot seat. And I got to hear from you guys in the comments. But is this that year that you say enough is enough, go win it all? Is this that year? Because they're supposed to have one of their better rosters in not like a decade or whatever, obviously, but probably one of their better rosters since they last won a national championship, or at least that 2019 season with LSU. Remember, LSU had to beat Clemson in the title game, and they had Justin Ross, they had Trevor Lawrence, they had ETN, they had all those guys back that won it in 2018, and they lost by only really 17 points against LSU that year. So this is probably going to be Clemson's best shot for another title. Now they're recruiting greatly. They are using the portal a little bit more. Dabo's kind of coming around on that, but at the same time, I think if there's any year to do it for Clemson, the time is now to go all in, as they would say in South Carolina. So this is the year in 2025 to win a title. That's just my opinion. Again, I didn't really, you know, I didn't really come up with too much. Um, but yeah, I mean, you're talking about Clemson, man. They who did they beat that first round? Or no, they had lost in the first round I mentioned, but anyway, I just like it's so like I hope Clemson can win another title at some point. I do. I like Dabo. I think he's got a great program and everything. It's just a matter of when, because like when they won that first one, it's like what was it, 35 years? So yeah. Okay. So I'll clip that Dabo segment, but I don't know. That's really all I came up with. I figured with it being Memorial Day, which I probably should have thought differently, but like we got a couple people watching. I figured we get some callers by now. But if you guys want to call in, there's the StreamYard link um, for the show. So let's see. Could. I guess we could do some more previews here. We got to start knocking out some of these teams, as many as we can. But let me see who um I haven't done yet. Albums, teams. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Let's have some fun. I think I need to delete some of these, but I made one for USC if y'all want to talk up some Big Ten. I think Did I have Duke and Syracuse. Have I done Duke? I know I've done Syracuse, I think. Maybe not. Yeah, no, no, no. I did Syracuse last week. Let's see. I did Vandy. I already deleted them. Kentucky, Michigan is what I've done. There's a couple. Let's do I went through and I honestly I got a lot of ACC teams lined up is what I got, but yeah, I don't know. By the way, as far as conference week goes this year, we usually do that in June. I haven't really been able to plan much on it because of work, but if you guys want to, we can. We do the four conferences and we take 4 days to really talk it up. Um, I didn't really plan it, so maybe we'll hold off until 2026. We'll do it next year. Um, I think maybe we'll hold off on this year. We'll just kind of keep doing team previews and stuff. But let's see. By the way, we got a couple people watching. Hit that thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button. Completely free to do. You'll thank me later. Um, StreamYard links in the comments section. Hit that link. Call in. Talk up college football with us. Let's preview. Yeah, let's do USC. We got to do USC, man. Go back to the Big Ten, and I'll try to get back to doing some of these on my own too. I gotta make some banners. Um, I don't even know what I'm. I don't even know what to make of USC really. I guess I could peg them there. I don't know. We'll kind of roll with it. So the Trojans of USC are up next here for Ballard Sports Media's team previews, rolling through the off season here. Lincoln Riley is very interesting. He's that coach that he's not a bad coach. He's a great recruiter. He knows offense, could care less for defense. Just be honest. That's what's been holding him back at USC. That's what held him back from a national title at Oklahoma, in my opinion. I do think USC could have a really good season, but they're just shy of making the college football playoff. I like to give the at most record prediction and give you a ceiling, but let's dive into honestly what their schedule could look like here. I haven't even looked at it too much, but just kind of reacting just as much as you guys are, I'm sure. Missouri State, um, let me yeah, we got it good. Missouri State, Georgia Southern at Purdue should be a win, depending on what Purdue does. But I think they only won like 2 games last year. Michigan State could be tricky. We'll come back to some of these games here, but at Illinois, off week, Michigan at home, at Notre Dame. They have a bye week October 25th at Nebraska, Northwestern, Iowa, at Oregon, and then UCLA. I think they should be better than most of these teams on the schedule. Now, that does not mean that they're going to win, but it does mean that they should have a chance. And what they should end up doing, in my opinion, I, ooh, I don't know. I made a bet with Lou. I might need Iowa to go to the Coliseum and win. I need Iowa to hit the over. So for the sake of that, I'm going to say they lose to Iowa. I also think they'll lose that Notre Dame game. Michigan State, I like Jonathan Smith. I like the direction he's going. I like the recruiting and everything, but I don't trust them on the road just yet. That's the third game of the season, or the fourth game, I should say. I don't know if Michigan State's coming off a bye or anything yet, but this could be a really good game. Could be a night game, could just be an afternoon 3:30 kick, but this could come close for Michigan State, but I expect USC to be a bigger and better team here. Overall, I really don't see much room for error. Now, I don't expect them to make the playoffs, but I think they'll be one of the teams outside looking in. I know they'll lose to Notre Dame. That's one. Um, I don't think they'll lose to Iowa, but it would be cool to see just because it would help me out with my bet. At Oregon is a loss. So Notre Dame, Oregon, and maybe that Michigan or Nebraska. I mean, you're looking at possible 8-4, but honestly, I think they could get Nebraska and well, I think they get Nebraska. I'm gonna say they lose to Michigan, Notre Dame, and Oregon. They lose one home game, two on the road, and I'm gonna peg them at 9-3. What do y'all say in the comments section? But I think USC could have a really good year, but I don't think they're quite there to where they can make the playoff. Now, I say that you got to remember, um, Notre Dame not in a conference. They could only have two conference losses, make the Big Ten title game. If they get in there, man, like technically speaking, they could make the playoffs. I don't know about the Big Ten race. I mean, it might be like an Oregon Penn State rematch. It might be Penn State Ohio State. I like Penn State in that game for sure. I don't know who they're going to face. I doubt it's USC, but uh, it's too early to call USC up and say go to Indianapolis and Lucas Oil to play in the Big Ten. I think that's a little bit too soon. But 9-3 seems reasonable, and they could be on the brink of making the college football playoff, possibly as an at large. If they do make the Big Ten title with a record like this, they have a chance to win the Big Ten, get 10 wins, and then they'll be a conference champion or something. But um, either way, I think USC is in a prime position to win a lot of big games in 2025. There you go. I'll clip that. Let's see. I dropped the streamer link. What is Millis? I think Millis wants to come on. Millis was texting our group chat. He's like, "Where's the link?" He said, "Link it." I'm like, "Does he want the StreamYard link?" I said, "That's in the comments, but here's the stream link. Like, we're live." Yeah. Anyway, we'll give it a few more minutes if we get some calls. We have viewers, but we don't have anyone in the back room. Phone lines are open. Just hit that StreamYard link, call up, talk whatever you want. It doesn't even have to be college football. It doesn't have to be sports. You can talk about life. You can rant. We'll do a therapy session or something. I don't know. Tell me what's wrong in your world. Tell Ballard what's wrong. I don't care. um, yeah, USC, man. USC, they they're tough to figure out. I put them, like I said, I put them at like 9-3 right now. Um, yeah, I don't know. I'd put USC at 9-3, but I know a lot of people don't like the Trojans, don't like Lincoln Riley and stuff. I don't necessarily have much hate. I just don't. I mean, like I think that the USC is just that team that a lot of people rip on, but they shouldn't. Like there really shouldn't be much hate. I don't think. I don't think they've ever done anything too wrong. But see, I need another team to preview here. I didn't plan on it on necessarily like team previews today, but we got to knock some out. We got to knock them out. Let's see. Who could I talk up here? Who have I done? Is the question. Because I keep forgetting that I have a list and I cross them off after I do them, and I don't think it's caught up. So I just keep going back to the playlist. Um, we did 15 teams last year for our previews. We've done 31. Fix it'll be 32 on the playlist after I clip USC. We've done 31 teams. Let's see. Let's do some Big 12. I've only done West Virginia, I think, from the Big 12. Is that right? Yeah. So Big 12 is wide open. I could do BYU, Iowa State. I'll do Iowa State. Shout out to our buddy Jeff Webster. Rest in peace. Let's also pull up. I Yeah. Well, I thought I did Colorado. Is Colorado not in here? Colorado's in there. So I've done Colorado, West Virginia. That's it. That's the only Big 12 teams I've done. Colorado and West Virginia. I did BYU and Iowa State. I need to get a BYU logo though. I think I need to Iowa State logo. Iowa State, and we'll do BYU. Okay. Okay, so let me make these thumbnails and then we'll get on to the preview. But I'll do BYU and I'll do Iowa State. All right, let's do it. Let's start with BYU. We'll do BYU and then we'll do Iowa State. Okay. So we got to get cracking down on some of these Big 12 teams. I look at BYU, I say that this could be a really good team. I mean, I think so. Portland State, Stanford, East Carolina off a bye week, Colorado. Could they beat Colorado? Colorado's an interesting team. I think they take a step back because of all the talent they lost. Um, West Virginia. I also look at Arizona here on the road. Utah at Iowa State, who we'll look at soon too. At Texas Tech, coming off their second bye week. TCU, Cincinnati, and UCF. Shout out Scott Frost going back to his old stomping grounds in Orlando. But I I don't know what to make too much of BYU. I mean, you could talk up, the quarterback and Jake Retzlaff is really, really good. Of course, he's had some stuff come out um, recently with the law. I don't want to talk about it on here. I don't want to get into it necessarily, but he is a good, talented quarterback. Um, I think the thing about BYU is what's the situation with Retzlaff? Is he going to get to start? Is he going to get to play? Um, so they they have been trying to look at these different quarterbacks with McKay Hillstead and Trayson Bourget. Um, when you look at it, and I think that's a big deal. They always have good receivers. They always have a really really good talent on defense for BYU. They can put a lot of guys in the NFL. I mean, you look at some of the guys on defense, Tyrion Alexander the third, Evan Johnson, Jonathan Cabella. Um, they have some transfers out there. Keelan Marion comes from UConn as a wide receiver. McKay Hillstead comes in at quarterback, Utah State. Harrison Taggart is a linebacker from Oregon. So they've hit up the portal. They even got guys from Texas. Uh, Tossili Akana is a defensive end. He's from Hawaii. Um, I would say this, yeah, I think they got really good talent. They always recruit well. I do like what they're doing with Kalani Satake at head coach. Um, BYU is interesting. And then you get to the schedule here. Portland State's a win. I think Stanford is not going to be that good a team, but again, teams we could be wrong on. I'm going to say BYU wins their first two games, gets the bye week. East Carolina's a win. At Colorado could go either way. Colorado, you got Julian Lewis taking over for Shador. I guess Colorado's going to be okay, but I mean, that could be a night game, maybe an afternoon game. I don't know the environment that it's going to have, but prime time Deion Sanders, West Virginia. I like BYU as a team that barely misses the playoffs, but they should be better than most of these teams, I think. But I'm going to give them a loss to Colorado. Um, they'll win some of these late games: TCU, Cincinnati, UCF. Iowa State's a loss. I'm gonna make. I mean, let's see. So I look at this schedule. Let's say a close one with Colorado. Colorado wins. West Virginia. I think West Virginia could beat BYU. Rich Rod's back in town. At Arizona. What are the chances BYU loses 3 games in a row? Colorado, West Virginia, beat Arizona, Utah. Good rivalry there. Iowa State. I would say they could beat Arizona, probably get Utah, lose to Iowa State. That's 3 losses. And then can they win 4 straight here? Texas Tech might be dangerous. TCU, I don't know. Cincinnati and UCF, I'm not too high on. Other than I do like Scott Frost being back there. I thought he did great the first time around at Central Florida. I'm gonna play it safe here. I'm gonna say they're gonna find a way to lose one of those last few games. I'm gonna play it safe at 8-4, but I might eat my words on their record. But BYU should have still a pretty good season. Obviously, the Retzlaff stuff's going on, but I think Kalani Satake at head coach, I think he could figure some stuff out, get it going, and ultimately, I think he could put together a really good staff, really good team, and um, I just I don't see a playoff scenario for BYU, but I do see a really good bowl destination and possibly getting up. I mean, they could go 9-3, win a bowl game, get 10 games. They could do that. I'm pegging them at 8-4 though. So that's my opinion on the BYU Cougars. So now what? What do we do? We do one more with Iowa State because I'm high on Iowa State for sure. Let's see, we did BYU and we did who did we just do to? We USC. We did BYU, USC. Okay. Okay. So yeah, maybe that'll do it for today's, at least the previews. Don't forget we do this show every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And we do it at 10 a.m. Eastern time. So always love and appreciate you guys for showing up, showing out. We got 2 thumbs up on here. Thank you. Appreciate it. We got a like on Facebook as well. Not sure yet what we're going to talk about on Wednesday, but should be a good one. Episode 7. Um, this might do it. I think I'm going to go hang out with family now. I think we're doing a barbecue. I think we got a Boston butt or some ribs or something that my grandfather's going to smoke up. Yeah, let's do it. I'm ready. But got some stuff to clip from this one. We'll upload some stuff and we'll be here for episode 7 on Wednesday at 10 a.m. Eastern. I love you. Jesus loves you. Keep that head up. God bless. And we'll see you next time here at BSM and the Christian Ballard Show.
Hey folks, this is Christian Ballard. You're going to be